guys, welcome back to the Fat Loss Series 2.0. This is episode 4 of the series, where I will be recapping everything that happened between weeks 10 through 12 of my fat loss phase. Remember though, if you're here for the juicy stuff, if you're here for the progress pictures to see how my body is changing, I do always show that at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around till the end. But before we get into this episode, let's kind of recap what happened in episodes 1, 2, and 3. So here is a chart of how my weight has been going down over time. In weeks 1 through 4, you can see I was eating 2,250 calories. Weeks 5 through 8, I was eating around 2,000 calories. Weeks 9 through 11, I was eating about 1,800 calories per day. And now in weeks 12 and beyond, I am now eating 1,600 calories per day. So my calories started all the way up at 2,250, and now I've worked them all the way down to 1,600. As for cardio, I started with 10 to 15 minute cardio sessions several times a week, and then I've slowly worked my way up to 40 plus minutes of cardio every day. I don't know if you remember in the last episode, I talked about how I got the flu for a week. Ever since I had the flu, I have not gotten back on my cardio game. I was doing Stairmaster and I was doing Speed 6, and I would do it for 10 to 15 minutes straight, and I would really get a nice sweat in and really get my heart rate up, and I was really enjoying that. Ever since I got the flu though, I've kind of backed off, and I've just been doing steady state cardio, just walking on the treadmill, girl, while I'm doing work. Or I'll wake up early in the morning, do 30 to 40 minutes of just brisk walking, get that out of the way. I don't really break much of a sweat. I just get kind of warm, and that's how I've been getting my steps in. And we'll see if that works for me. But if it doesn't work, all I have to do is just increase my cardio intensity or increase how much cardio I'm doing for there. So I'm not really worried about it. So in week 10, I got sick with the flu. Week 11, my weight loss plateaued. So week 12, I went ahead and lowered my calories to 1,600 calories per day. And dropping to 1,600, honestly, I thought it would be harder than it's been. I've always associated 1,600 calories in my head to being very little food. But I'll tell you what, though, I'm focusing on lean protein. I'm focusing on lots of fruits and veggies. And I'm focusing on, honestly, I'll have 4 to 5 separate meal times per day. And my meals are anywhere between 200 to 400 calories more often than not. And that has felt really good, especially because I stay pretty busy. Either I'm training clients or I'm doing content work. So my mind is kind of always busy enough to not have me thinking about food all the time. So if I do feel hunger between meals, it's super tolerable because my meals are pretty close together, 2 to 3 hours apart. And if anything, I might be a little bit more food focused than actually physically worried about hunger. Because I don't know if y'all agree, but I always feel like it's easier to ignore physical hunger pangs than it is to ignore thoughts about food, like food noise. You know what I mean? So I just feel really fortunate that this has been the easiest cut of my life. And it's because the food noise has been so chill. Here's why I think this has been the easiest cut of my life. For one, this is the 4th fat loss phase that I've ever done. And I feel like every time I do a fat loss phase, they get easier because I go into it knowing what to expect. I trust the process, so I'm less likely to self-sabotage. I'm less likely to be stressed about daily weight fluctuation. So my mind is clear, was kind of clear going into this cut. So there's number 1. Number 2, I have made it kind of a rule that I need to do some type of reverse diet, some maintenance, or some type of bulk before any fat loss phase that I do. I get my calories nice and high, bro. So when I go into a fat loss phase, I've had enough time to recover from the last fat loss phase. So I have virtually no thoughts about food. I have no diet fatigue. If anything, I'm feeling too full. So I'm actually eager and excited to go into a cut. I'm eager to do that work. You know what I mean? I'm not burnt out because I'm always trying to be in a deficit. And then number 3 thing that I did that I think has made this fat loss phase so awesome is there's this lady. She makes fitness podcasts. Her name is Cory Fit. And she made a video where she talks about ways to deal with hunger. And basically every tip or almost every tip she gave in that video was a mindset tip. And that video permanently changed my brain chemistry. I'm going to link it because I thought it was such a great video. But basically she said, hey, hunger is just a feeling. You don't need to act on it. You don't have to associate any negative thoughts to it. In the past, I feel like anytime I would feel hunger, I would feel anxious and it would like tense me up and I would think of it as this thing that I needed to fix. I need to address this negative feeling. Whereas now I welcome hunger as an old friend. If anything, dude, hunger is a sign that we are in a deficit, that we are chugging along in the right direction. Don't get fucking crazy though. The goal isn't to be ravenous, but the goal is to be slightly hungry in between meal times, slightly hungry before bed. But it's tolerable and it's like a low baseline feeling that persists rather than this thing that like punches you in the face and that you need to act on immediately. So I don't know what it is about thinking that like hunger is just a feeling and it's okay to feel hard things that just gave me so much peace, because whenever I feel hungry now, I kind of like relax into it. I notice it. I notice how it feels in my body. I'm grateful for it. You know what I mean? I'm not taking any part of this journey for granted, especially because I'm going to miss that feeling once I'm bulking. So it's just like having the emotional maturity to relish in how amazing each phase of bodybuilding is. Cutting phases are just as important as bulking phases. Both of them have their time and place. What goes up must come down and vice versa. So that mindset shift has been cherries for me. And these past 3 weeks have been super great. Like I said, week 10, I got the flu. So I only made it to the gym, or week 10, I was recovering from the flu. Week 9, I got the flu. So I didn't make it to 2 of my 6 sessions that week. So I got 4 sessions that week. I haven't missed a single session in week 11. Week 12, didn't miss a single session. Week 13 so far, haven't missed a single session. So I've gotten to train 16 out of my 18 sessions that I had planned for myself the past 3 weeks, the past 21 days. So strength training has felt super awesome. My strength definitely isn't improving as quickly as it was before, but I'm definitely not losing strength. Like in the past, I thought like, oh, I'm cutting now, so like it's okay if I'm weak. It's like, no, don't use that as an excuse to be a pussy. Like I'm still training hard. And if anything, I'm literally clinging for dear life to my strength. So I think I've been able to maintain most of my strength, not progressing as much with strength training, maybe losing a little bit of strength, but I'm feeling good. Yeah, I've been good about getting my steps in. Week 10 was kind of like a wash. I just really did not get any of my cardio in at all. But 11, 12, and 13, again, my cardio has been to the T. Ever since I got back up from the flu and I lowered my calories, I said, it's time to fucking grind. We have like 4 weeks left of this cut. My goal is to see 129.9 on the scale. I just want to get into the 129s. It doesn't even need to be 129.0. I just want to see 129.9. And then I'll stay in a deficit until my week average is 129.9, or it's in the 129s. So I want to see 129.9 and then probably hold that for another week or two until my average is 129.9. And then I'm just going to slowly reverse out of this stinking cut and slowly put myself into a surplus. And then I'm going to fucking gain for the next 12 months, because that's what you do when you're a bodybuilder. You peel all the layers back, you peel all your fat back, and you realize you weren't as muscly as you thought you were, and it's time to grow some more. So I'm super excited for this next growing season, especially because I feel like I've started to train insane. Again, I was watching a Cory Fit podcast. She had Liv Roth on her podcast, and I think she asked Liv something to the effect of like, how do you know that you're training hard? How do you help your clients find out if they're training hard? And Liv literally was just like, again, this changed my brain chemistry. Just like Cory Fit's first video, this video changed my brain chemistry too. Liv said, I asked myself, if there was a gun to my head, could I do another rep? And she said, the answer is always yes. You can always do another rep. And that completely changed how I've been training. And I feel like this bulking season is going to be so fucking amazing, because I'm actually going to know how to train to put on muscle, whereas the first bulk that I ever did, it was 6 months, and I'm glad it was only 6 months, because I'm pretty sure I just gained mainly fat that entire bulk, because I don't even think I was putting those calories to work. I don't even think I was training as hard as I know that I can. So, super exciting. Did I cover everything? Oh, another thing that I should say, I've had 5 free meals the past 21 days as well. And the reason I say that is because I love how I've always been able to do my fat loss phases with such moderation and such grace. Don't get me wrong, I love the grind, bro. I freaking love eating the same meals on rotation. I love counting my calories. Like, I've really learned to love this process, but I also love that I'm able to have a date night with my boyfriend, have girls' night. I think I had girls' night 2 times in the past 21 days where I get charcuterie board. I get to enjoy these moments with people that I love. I've been seeing a lot of professionals in the field lately harp on the fact that you shouldn't lose yourself in the fat loss phase and you shouldn't isolate, and it could be a more rewarding and just a better fat loss phase, a better, more enjoyable fat loss phase in general if you allow yourself to spend time with people that you love. You don't need to isolate yourself. So I took that very seriously. Okay, progress pictures. Girl, I'm so happy with my progress pictures. From the front, main thing you notice, the main thing that I notice, waist snatched. A little bit, it looks like my legs slimmed down a bit, my arms slimmed down a bit. Fuck yeah, my face too. My side wellness pose, girl, come on now. I think also I learned how to pose better. Like, I just got my hip in a better position that time, so my glute looks amazing. It looks like my legs didn't lose muscle, which is cool to see. My arms look leaner. Love this side pose. I posted it on socials, and a lot of people were like, damn, like, what a contrast. Now, unposed from the side, you can just see that I got leaner in my arms and in my midsection. My legs look a little smaller, and my glutes look a little smaller. Womp womp. Front wellness pose, again, amazing, love to see. My back unposed, I see a huge difference, and I'm finally starting to like the way that my back looks. Like, I always feel like I hold the most fat in my back, and it's like the last place that I lose fat. So I'm pretty impressed with my back pose. Like I said, we're in week 13, so we have half of this week left to go, and then 3 more weeks more likely after that. So we'll see what my weight does. Last thing I'll say before I leave you. The whole point of this series was that I wanted to show you how possible it is to lose fat in a way that is sustainable, intelligent. You don't hurt yourself. It doesn't have to suck. And that's kind of the big takeaway that I want you to walk away with when you walk away from this episode, especially when you look at my line graph. Do you see how many upticks my line graph has? But the overall trend is down. If every time that I had my weight spike up on the scale, I flipped the fuck out, I would not have gotten to where I am now. So I really want to remind you that your weight will fluctuate. You will have bad weeks. You might get the flu. You will have weeks when you're traveling. You should go on date nights. And all of these things will affect your weight. When I go out for date night or for girls' night, I know my weight is most likely going to be up the next day. But the whole point is, what is my weight doing over time? Okay? So stop freaking yourself out. Stop self-sabotaging. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode, and I can't wait to see you in the next one, the final episode. I will leave you guys with that. If you like this video, please let me know by liking, subscribing, commenting. Please comment your big takeaways. I love hearing from you. Please share it with someone that you think would benefit from this information, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.